I'll wait for you. I'll wait. I guess I'll change my thumbnail later. Oh, hold on. Let me sign into the right account. Oh, hold on. Let me sign into the right account. I can edit this video, shawty. Hold on, y'all. Let me get this set up. Then we good. I just do my thumbnail tomorrow morning. It's not like it's important. Asante or Ashanti, whatever. What's going on, y'all? What's going on, y'all? Number one, we got to start off with a few things right quick. We got to start off the right way. Limited? How did I get limited? It says YouTube monetization limited. I haven't said a cuss word or anything during this live. It's been live for like 10 seconds. They already limited me, but that's cool because I don't care about this channel. I just got 4,000 subscribers on my other channel in the past 30 days without putting only one video out. Hold on, y'all. Let me do some right quick. Yo, just get over having the flu last week. I thought I had COVID, but my COVID tests were negative, but I felt like I had COVID. I felt like I wanted to die. Salute Dave, what's going on with you, man? I'm going to talk about everything. I'm going to do it in a way can't nobody do it but like me, Verb, while very funny, while demeaning his audience. He's still hilarious. While Chris Unbiased, you know what I'm saying, say great things, Piper Boy say great things, but they don't know the legal stuff like I do, you know what I'm saying? They can't break it down to you like I can do it. I mean no shot, because you know Chris my homeboy. And as soon as it's live over with, I'm going to send it to Chris. This is why you're wrong, bruh. But before we get into everything, I just need people to be honest and acknowledge reality. All the naysayers, whoever saw me put up a post about me losing 33 pounds, you can clearly see I am Little John again. Little John. Not only did I lose 33 pounds, but this is only the halfway stop. I'm going to lose 31 more pounds from 244 pounds to 211 pounds. I'm going down to 180 pounds. Once I reach 180, I will pretty much keep the same diet. I will just triple or quadruple the amount of baked fish and baked chicken and vegetables I'm eating, and change my exercise from a runner to a weightlifter to go from 180 to 195, putting on 15 pounds of muscle so I can get that LL look. But before I get that, we're not going to sit up here and act like the elephant in the room, like I am not lit right now physically. I'm lit. Look at me, man. Oh, my God. You can reach 180 if you wanted to. Oh, man, I'm moving this right here out of the way. My bad. Hold on. There we go. That's not? Is that? No, it's not clicking. Oh, it's on my mug. My bad. My bad, y'all. All right, let's get right into the NuNu Nellz RBE situation with URL. Only person I have talked about this in private was actually ARP. And when I talked to ARP, it wasn't really about the specific details of what went on. It was about just characters, basically. How people play characters, play roles. Y'all know I pride myself that when I talk to somebody in private, I keep that situation very private. I'm free. Like Averb said, I watched Averb vlog, and Averb talked about being free, but Averb's freedom was he's a battle rapper, that he's not under the chains of URL because he doesn't need their money. I'm way more freer than Averb because I can go live on a battle rap channel or a former battle rap channel, a channel used for nothing, a channel that I don't give a crap about. I don't post consistently to stay in some sort of YouTube algorithm. I have another more popular channel. I say whatever I want to. It is not me tied to URL. It's me free in life. In life. In life. So, I'm free of all chains. Yam Shan. So, check it. The situation is, ARP has said, I want y'all, you got to listen to me because I'm telling you right now, no battle rap blogger is going to give it to you like I'm going to give it to you now because they're giving you an opinion. I'm about to give you facts. You can't argue against what I'm saying. It's facts. The controversy is ARP put out a claim that URL is stopping battle rappers from talking about his event. They are literally telling battle rappers not to talk about his event. Now, I want you to free your mind of criminal accusations, and I want you to, from this point on, now that I stated that, I want you to only put your mind into civil lawsuit. Stop right there before I show how NuNu Nellz crush URL from any kind of civil lawsuit from ARP saying that URL has in fact stopped battle rappers from talking about his event. I want y'all to pause right there, and I want to go to Cardi B. I want y'all to show. I got to get you out of the criminal courtroom into a civil courtroom. The civil courtroom is a lot harder. The person that files the lawsuit has to prove without a shadow of a doubt that what the other person is saying is slander or libel. That they knew for a fact that they were lying. We're not going on opinion. We're going on facts. For instance, Cardi B. Once Tasha K said that about Cardi B having herpes, as awful as that is, if your brain was stuck in the criminal world, Tasha K's in trouble because you think Tasha K got to prove how she knows she has herpes. Nope, not in the civil courtroom. In the civil courtroom, Cardi B had to go out and take an STD test. It was Cardi B had to prove she didn't have anything. Do you feel where I'm coming from, man? So, all ARP has to do is show one thing that shows the URL, in fact, told a battle rapper not to talk about his event. He has that evidence with Swave 7. When I say that, your brain goes into, but I understand it, John. Your brain will go into two things I'm going to prove you wrong on. The first thing your brain is going to go into is that it makes sense for them to say that because this was in a private room, in a private event. So one can understand in a private event how you wouldn't want them to talk about, you're getting your emotions involved. Remember, it comes down to black and white. Can ARP show proof that a battle rapper wanted to talk about his event and URL said no? Yes. Don't overthink this. Keep it simple. Yes, he can. With Swave 7. Swave 7 is a battle rapper that tried to talk about his event. And they stopped him. In a civil courtroom, 12 jurors or a judge isn't going to sit up there and think, we understand because the event was private. No. That's not how it works. He said something and there is proof to what he said because NuNu Nellz validated it. Now your second argument is NuNu Nellz is not an owner of URL. Allow me to retort. This is where battle rap bloggers stay in battle rap and they don't come outside and look at it. It's business. Fuck battle rap. Fuck selling hot dogs. Fuck selling perfume. Whatever category you want to put on it. Take all the categories away and go into business. I work for a lot of major companies. I'll go back to the first major company I worked to after I got out of the Air Force. It was Geico. You know the contract I had to sign with Geico? When you work for a company, the person that's giving information out is the company. I can't be the only person that knows this. When I worked at Geico, me as an insurance agent, if I went to an old lady's house to sell her insurance, John Shay Rhines, sitting in this old woman's house, I am Geico. I don't own it. I'm not a CEO like Tony Nicely was at the time that I worked at Geico. As a new CEO now. It's not the people who own it. The representative that's out there is the company. Once NuNu Nellz comes out and says, us here are a URL, we don't do that. We. The problem with NuNu Nellz is what makes NuNu Nellz great. What makes NuNu Nellz great is her devotion and commitment to the people she around. She works with URL, so her devotion and her commitment, which is typically a good thing, legally, on the standpoint of a lawsuit, has fucked her over. Not her over. Ain't nothing gonna happen to her because she's not an owner. But she fucked the owners over. Because like me as an insurance agent when I was at Geico, if I went to that old lady's house, I am Geico. NuNu Nellz is URL. One way URL can fight this would have been if they showed something in the past where they come out publicly and said, NuNu doesn't work with us. She's not with us at all. We're not saying owner, just with us, period. Because all she has to do is be with URL and act on behalf. But what happened was NuNu Nellz has such a close relationship with Beasley. I'm sorry, I was petty. Close relationship with Smack and the owners that she felt compelled to come out here openly and publicly say it was me. I'm someone who did that because that's not how we work at this. And once she does this, once ARP has evidence of her streaming and saying this, and URL not immediately coming out to retract her statement, URL not coming out to say anything at all in difference to her proclaiming that she's URL and working on their behalf, she fucked them over. Inadvertently, of course, but she did fuck them over. At this point, the overwhelming evidence that RBE has to show that NuNu Nellz works for URL. It's such a comfortable position. She's speaking on behalf of URL. She's telling people what to do on behalf of URL. She's bragging about telling what to do. She is now URL. So if we go back to the facts, not an opinion, ARP said that URL is stopping battle rappers from talking about his platform. That's literally what happened. Swave Sever, while working on behalf of 15 Minutes of Fame, is in fact a battle rapper. He was in fact stopped by URL as a representative of URL told him not to speak about RBE's event. What's irrelevant that you guys care about with your fucking hearts? Oh, it's a private place. Of course, that makes sense. That don't work in court, nigga. But working court is what his claim was, and what his claim was true. ARP's claim is literally true. You know how I know for a fact it's true? Because Swave7 said it's true, and NuNu said it's true. The representative of URL that's been in her position so strongly, she has no qualms of coming out and bragging about it. I told you, I'm not going to give you an opinion. I'm going to give you facts. How shit works in a civil lawsuit works differently in a criminal lawsuit. ARP didn't say a fucking lie. Any rebuttals? I would love to hear a rebuttal. I cannot wait to send this to my friend, Chris. I cannot wait for all the top bloggers who secretly know you guys don't watch my channel and come and listen to me in private and try to take my viewpoints and spread it out as their own. I can't wait to hear their videos. Because what I'm saying is irrefutable. I have a friend here by the name of Smoke of NY. I'm not being sarcastic. He's really, literally my friend. He said he disagrees. Type what you disagree. Type what you disagree. I'm not using StreamYards, so I can't click and show you comment on my stream. I'm using XSplit because XSplit puts it in the best resolution. And I want it to be in the best resolution tonight to show how sexy I look after I dropped 33 pounds. I want it to be, you know what I'm saying? I wore my tight ass workout shirt. But I would love for you to rebuttal what I'm saying. The only thing that URL can have in their defense, someone would have to show them this tiny ass channel that don't get people to watch him this video so they can prepare themselves. Because no other people, because a lot of people in the battle rap community are fucking idiots, are going to present this to them. So they don't feel no qualms. They laugh. Oh, Nellz came out and said something. Ha 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 ha. And then it was cool. And then she made the fucking idiot peons who don't work in court and shit like agree with her because she was explaining it was in a private. Ain't no the court of law don't care if you're in a private building or public building. They care about the claim that was laid out. The claim that was laid out by ARP was proven true by the URL employee Nellz. The one that has never been disputed by the owners of URL that she is their employee. I ain't never heard no dispute. You got to pay for that 1080p stream, y'all. Yeah, actually, I am paying for it, but it's not really 1080p. The reason you know it, go look at my past live when I use StreamYards. It doesn't look this good. So somebody lying to me. I got to go off real life. I stopped using XSplit, which I'm using now, because when I was using it over a year ago, a lot of times it was freezing up and all that stuff. And I'm like, maybe it's pushing too much power or something. I don't know what's going on. So I went on a limb and I used it on my other channel and it worked fine. Maybe I needed to update it because I had to update it like 5 or 6 times. But like this looks the best. The only part bad about this is it's a little bit different or more difficult to share other videos. When I was working on StreamYards, you just open up a new window and that window just go to StreamYards and you just watch it. This is a little different, but the quality is better. We smell your cigarette smoke coming out of the bushes. Please push. No cigarette smoke here. I'm stopped up a little bit because I had the flu. I mean, I was hurting bad. Your boy was waking up drenched in cold sweats. And yo, let me tell you funny about, because I run 7 days a week. I only eat vegetables and grilled fish, right? That's my whole thing I've been doing all year. I get sick with the flu. And I'm like, when I got sick with the flu, I think I was like 218, maybe 217 pounds. And I'm like, yo, I'm not going to be able to exercise. I'm not going to lose no weight at all. So I'm like, okay, at least I want to do, when I come out of being sick, please just let me still be 217 pounds. I'll be happy. Got on a scale today. I was 211 pounds. So I lost 6 pounds without even working out. I think that's just because of the diet that I restricted myself to. So, Benny, you might want to rewind it, my boy. I just put that knowledge out there that Verb was just dissing NuNu Nellz probably from some personal stuff. I don't really care for NuNu Nellz, but like when it comes to stuff like this, I don't let my personal involvement or emotions get in the way. I just state facts. You know what I'm saying? But Verb argument was NuNu Nellz is a woman and a woman should be talking to a man like that. And Swave Sever is a man. So just by her having a vagina, she's automatically wrong for having a vagina to talk to someone with a penis. That is so childish to me. But I don't hold that against Verb because when I watch Verb live, I don't understand where the real person begins and when the character ends. There obviously is a character involved with Verb being live because as outrageous as some of the things that Verb says, he's never this consistently outrageous with his words in the history of battle rap until he started these lives. You know what I'm saying? This Verb is so crazy. As far as entertainment, he's totally entertaining. I'll sit back and quietly watch him and laugh. This man told all of his mods, hey man, I need every one of my mods to just block somebody for 30 seconds. Yeah, just go on to flex your muscle a little bit. Just you know what I'm saying? Ain't no reason at all. And he just calls his audience stupid and all kind of names. And I'm not saying that his audience is stupid. I'm his audience because I'm watching too. So I'm just saying that his audience knows that he's playing up of some character role. But even when you do things like that, some part of that is true. So I'd be curious to know, because NuNu Nellz did something bad to Verb, where does the character begins and the real opinion? Where does the character ends and the real opinion begins? I'd be curious to know those things. Other than that, I'm subscribed to Verb. I would still be watching Verb because the brother is crazy. I just can't believe some of the stuff he says. But his argument is flawed. His argument is simple. NuNu Nellz can't say this because she has a vagina and Swave Sever has a penis. So she doesn't have the right to say these things to a man. The fuck that got to do with civil trial, civil lawsuit? I break down how NuNu is wrong because NuNu is URL. Anybody that works for URL and speaks on behalf of URL is URL. If you're an owner or not, you go into a new job and you sign the contract for this job, they can look at your social media and they can fire you. They can fire you for making a post when you're off on your own personal time. Why is that? Because at all times, and sometimes you guys don't read the writing when you start a new job, but it tells you at all times you are a representative of the company. When you still got on your fucking, I don't know, your AT&T outfit because you work on the poles outside people's houses and you decide not to change. So on your way home from fixing the last pole, you still got on your AT&T shirt. You're still driving your AT&T vehicle and you decide to stop by Burger King on your way home. And inside of Burger King, someone says something offensive to you. Let's say you're a black person and inside of Burger King, some racist guy calls you the N-word. So you cap off on him and you beat the crap out of him. And some little girl named Susie has her phone out and she records the fight and she uploads it to social media. And it is titled AT&T worker beats the crap out of a racist guy. At this point, AT&T can fire you because when you were inside of Burger King, you was AT&T. When NuNu Nellz spoke and told Swave Sever to stop and he cannot talk about RBE inside of this private building, NuNu Nellz was URL. So in fact, ARP told the truth when he said that URL is stopping bloggers from talking about him. without any other rebuttals, I like to move on to something else that kind of perturbed me today. Unless there's something else in battle rap you want me to mention. I guess I can quickly mention the Queen Ba versus Daylight incident. It's not really the battle that happened today. It's really what he said before. And I just don't understand. I understand the problem I have with black Americans is when they hear something generic, they follow it without detail. And we need to have more details to be more accountable so we can be like these other communities that take up for each other. So the generic premise that Daylight said sounded great. He said, I don't want to battle against these other guys that make my black community look bad. Let's talk about selling drugs, talk about all these bad things that he's against. And if you watch Daylight and you listen to the knowledge he puts out there, he's telling the truth because he speaks against these things. So as a generic premise, Daylight sounds good. But then he goes on to say, I want to battle King Ba, whatever the guy name is, because he dares to be different. Because he acts gay? I don't understand how the details of this works with Daylight's generic premise. The only thing King Ba does differently is put out sort of gay tropes. You know what a trope means. That's the only thing he does different. And while I'm not saying that's good or that's bad, I don't understand like why that's a standpoint that you feel that makes it great. I don't understand that point. It's not good and it's not bad. Actually, it can be bad if he's mocking and mimicking the gay community in our country. If he's doing that, that doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense what Daylight said. So only problem I have with like black American community, once we hear something generic, we stick to it and we don't acquire more research, more knowledge, more details into what the fuck these people are actually talking about. I'm sorry I like putting my hand up like this because it's so skinny with the weight loss. It just shows off more of my hard work I've been doing. I could do like this, right? I want to show it off. I deserve it. Let's be adding extra to get my verb on a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Good to see you too. Can this EB1? Health is wealth. Yes, health is wealth. Because let me tell you guys something. This is gonna sound arrogant, but I'm gonna be honest. There was no reason for me to care about my health because I was smashing some of the most ravishing, sexual looking women across Atlanta when I was single. I didn't have the most money, the nicest ride, and it was built like a melting chocolate ice cream. And I had no problem in life. Until I realized I have a 6-year-old daughter. There's nothing in your 20s. There's nothing in your 30s. But when you're 43 years old with a 6-year-old daughter, black men in their early 40s tend to die from high blood pressure, cholesterol, heart issues, liver issues, all of these things that you clearly have with your big ass fucking belly, John. You are on a one path to die if you hit 50 or maybe your early 50s. So how you going to be here when you're a 6-year-old graduate from high school? How you going to have longevity in your children's life? And when I thought about that, yeah, I'm not only going to do it, but I'm going to do it where everyone else fails. I'm going to secretly have my own New Year's Eve, my New Year's resolution. I'm just not going to tell nobody. So I knew once January 1st start, I'm not drinking alcohol again. Ever. I knew once January 1st start, I'm going to run, I'm going to work out. I knew once January 1st start, I'm going to change my diet. I've done it before. I lost 65 pounds. Actually, and put all the videos on this channel. The private, I'll make them public. So this isn't even a fight for me. I've done this. This is not, what you see is not the fight. The fight is when I get to where I want, the fight begins. Because it's the consistency to keep it off. Because you're going to hurt your body worse if you keep fluctuating all of this weight. Drop 30 pounds, gain 30 pounds, drop 40 pounds, gain 40. You're making it worse and you're still going to die. So this is nothing to me. My fight is when I get all the way to where I want to be. Then the fight of consistency start. Years and years of me being a little skinny John. One of the worst things people say to me to hurt my feelings, a lot of people try to do stuff to hurt my feelings on purpose. One of the worst things that hurt my feelings is when someone is nice to me and I meet them in public and they say, "What's up, big guy?" I'm like, damn, I was a super skinny ass dude. They used to call me Brother Bones to pick on me. I'm not even naturally a normal size guy. I'm naturally a super skinny guy. So to be so big that when someone doesn't mean any disrespect or harm, they're like, "Hey, big guy." I used to hate that. I want to get to a point to where you sound stupid calling me big guy. So I work hard to do that. Now, this entire weight conversation was just a segue because I don't know, unless you something else in battle rap you want me to mention, I'm done with battle rap. I want to get on to something else that means more to me. And I may need to play a video if I need to add context, but I'm going to try to explain to you all the situation with Pearl. I have shown Pearl on this channel before. She's the white lady with red hair. She blew up. I think when I showed her, she had like 300,000 subscribers. She has over 1 million subscribers now. She blew up and took off because she had a lane that no one else occupied. There was no white woman in the male black red pill community. So when this white woman come up and say, "I think a man needs to speak. Women are second class," and all her videos are putting down women and showing how women need to be submissive to men. She's white, and men love to hear shit like this, especially men who are not successful at getting women, because they're going to feel, it's sort of like if I put down black people, or a racist person would want me to put down black people because they can say, "I ain't said it, he said it, and he black." So when these losers don't know how to get women, hear another woman tell women how they should be inferior, they're going to flock to that. Lane wide open. Ain't no other white woman for her to have competition to. She literally was a one of a kind. So the situation that happened with just Pearl in this black male dominated red pill community really struck a chord with me today. Because I saw videos to where she had a racist guy, Nick Fuentes, whatever his name. She had a racist guy on her show. Just Pearl likes to tell people she dated black men sometime in the past. Just Pearl has another woman on her show that's white and currently dating a black guy. And she has this racist guy on her show. When this racist guy comes on the show, he's very disrespectful. He even tells her, I don't know if it's a co-host, but the white woman that's on with her, she says, "You're a racist." He says no at first, but then he falls into it and he laughs. He's like, "Well, who the fuck are you to talk? You're dating a black guy." He's boldly standing on his two toes saying, "I am in fact a racist." So what? What are you going to do? Because that's his reputation, being disrespectful and proudly proclaiming that he's black. I'm sorry, not black, that he's a racist, right? So he's on this show. And here's where it gets tricky to idiots. Not no one as intelligent as me, to idiots. An idiot says, you can have a racist on your show. That doesn't mean that you agree with the racist viewpoints. We don't need to live in a world where you have to have somebody on and attack their viewpoint. Because in the 80s and 90s, you can have somebody on you totally disagree with. Arsenio Hall went to prison to interview Charles Manson. Again, we are now stuck into a general premise. And once black people hear general premise, that's all they need to hear. And they fucking run for the hills and say everything's okay. They don't look at the details. But when you look at the details, Just Pearl wasn't just some host letting a racist guy go off on her shit. She was saying some shit that was fucked up. While having this racist guy on, he didn't bring up the topic. She brought it up on her own without being provoked. They was not even talking about this. And Just Pearl said, yeah, because you know how slavery is. I'm probably in trouble for this, but when it comes to slavery, like even the guy who made Roots, he said out of his own mouth that he just wanted, I don't know her exact words, he just wanted that basically a fairy tale that black people could look up to. So she's insinuating that, and then she said, like, he was saying the Holocaust wasn't that bad. He believed it wasn't as bad as said. So she left the Holocaust subject and went on to black people to insinuate that what happened in slavery wasn't as bad. Because the person that wrote Roots said that he wanted to make something fictitious. I want to find the exact word that she used, though, because I'd rather destroy her using her exact words. But look up her exact words. Find it. She said that, he even said it. And my thing in my brain was, Roots isn't real. Roots is fiction. Roots is no different than the boy in the striped pajamas. The boy in the striped pajamas was a story about a little kid who was a Jew in a Nazi concentration camps. It was fiction. He goes to the fence and he made friends with one of the Nazi guys that ran that camp. His son, they're the same age and they play together at this fence. This fictitious story drives to your heart because the Nazi guy running the camp was gassing Jews every day, killing people. This little innocent Jewish guy at the fence, little kid with the Nazi guy's son, all of a sudden they want to be together so bad. The Nazi guy's son sneaked through the fence and now he's on the side with the Jews. They rush all of these people in the building, and in rushing these people in the building, these little boys are holding hand. These two little boys went in the building. They're sitting around, standing there, shoulder to shoulder. And then the gas comes and it kills all the adult Jews. It kills the little boy in the striped pajamas, and it kills the Nazi guy's son as well. That is fiction. That never happened. But just because the author admits that that never happened and that story was fiction has zero to do with what actually the horrific atrocities that went on inside of these Nazi concentration camps. So when I look at something like Roots and it depicts a fictitious story of one slave getting his foot chopped off, Kintukunte, not real. Actual slaves went through far worse. What struck a chord in me, she said a lot of more things that she wasn't just sitting there letting a racist person talk, but she said a lot of more things. She played around with CP time. We joke around like black people ain't never on time. Black people joke around like that with each other. But when you're a white person and you're in the presence of a guy who's openly telling you and admitting that he's racist, it's not for you to sit up here and joke about your black employees that work for you and talk about how they're late on CP time. You're invigorating the racist person. You're not an innocent party any longer, especially when you are bringing up these topics and not the actual racists on your show. You're showing us that you built your channel to 1 million subscribers off the backs of a black audience. A black audience. And a black subsection and culture on YouTube. You used us to come up. And now that you're there with your 1 million subscribers, you got your racist person on, you don't give a fuck. Because you never gave a fuck. It was just a means from a girl who was a nobody on social media who caught a huge wave. And now we are in a time that we're being shown white people never cared about our plight. They use us and they get to a point and they leave. Insert Adam 22 with no jumper and firing his black employees. Building his channel. Nobody gave a fuck about him being a skater. People don't even probably realize he was a skater. No one cared. No one watched this shit. People watched this shit when he went from white boy tattooed skater to starting to make videos about rap, independent rap artists, having independent rap artists on his show, having his entire platform changed to black only content in hip hop. And once he built his channel up to where he's literally making millions of dollars a year, now I'll do something different. I'm looking at Destiny, the white guy I talk about. I'm looking at how these people debate, how they talk about bigger topics. I want to do that other stuff. I don't fuck this hip hop, fuck this black shit. Let me just get rid of all my black employees and let me just let them go their own way. They do their own shit. And then you wonder why we say people come into our culture and are culture vultures. That's a culture vulture. Adam 22 is a culture vulture. Just Pearl is a culture vulture. She never gave a fuck about our plight. The number one thing I don't hear people talking about, I'm going to talk about right now, and I'm holding accountable my black people on this. Just Pearl put out an apology video, and in her apology video, some shit she just was flabbergasted. Just some shit you can't say. I was stupid. I was just dumb. When he attacked my white friend for having a black boyfriend, I was there's nothing I can say. I didn't know what to, shut the fuck up. A lot of shit she couldn't even say. But one of the things she said caught me. And one of the things why I don't think that nobody should forgive what she said is from her comment section. Her white audience that's there, what they were saying. I would show you guys if I could. I may put it up here. Matter of fact, I will. Hold on, you guys. I want to show you guys what was being said. Nobody breaks shit down like I do. That's why y'all be missing me. We go down videos, and we go down Just Pearly addresses Nick Fuentes interview. Here it is right here. So what we're going to do is copy, and we're going to, I haven't used this in a while. I'll add source. I'm going to add a web page, and then we're going to add this web page. I'm going to try to read the comments.
Sleep has Mia traveling down the boulevard of boyfriend's past.
He's also a doctor.
Correct.
I really care for the video. I mean, we can watch it if you guys want. You guys want to watch this video? You want me to play it? If you want me to play, I'll play the video so you can hear her apology. Or do you want me to just go to the comments and tell you why no one should I'm going to move the video. We can do it. We can do it. We can listen to it. Matter of fact, give me more shit to break down. But I'm not gonna forget my stance on what I said. We're gonna play the video. Because there's other things she did I didn't mention, and she'll mention because she's gonna try to address everything.
YouTube channel, and welcome to Morning Coffee Thoughts, where I give my thoughts over morning coffee. Today I have a chai tea. I quit coffee. You guys don't care about what I'm drinking. Okay. Today I'm going to be addressing the Nick Fuentes situation. Yeah, I know why you guys are here. Okay. So I want to first say I take full accountability for everything that happened. Everything that happens in life, as I say to the girls on my show, is my own fault. The fact that people are making these videos is my own fault. And the situation that...
I do want to say, like, I wish there was some way I can convey to white people, like, it's easy for you guys because you aren't affected to the day-to-day lives of the things that happen to another race or another culture. So it's easy for you to come on the way she comes on. Oh yeah, I just want to be like her whole mannerism. This seems to me the mannerism of someone who like, I'm in some deep shit. Self instead of what they put out to her other people that she built her channel off of. I wish there was a way that I knew how to convey to you, because this whole vibe right here isn't even the way you should start it off. I see a woman who feels like she's in financial trouble because she said something wrong, instead of a woman who's really empathetic to what she said and did.
That I'm in is my own fault. Now I'm going to give you guys an explanation and give you guys context for some of the conversations that were had. Just know it's not an excuse. It's my own fault. I take full accountability.
Right there, that's the example. Right now, just know this is my excuse. It's no excuse. It's my fault. It's accountability. That tone. That's the tone of, oh, why did I put myself in this dumb shit? I wish I never did this shit before. But not wish I never did it for who she hurt, but because of the backlash that came from it. I think his name is Mediocre Reviews. It's some guy. He has like almost 600,000 subscribers. He's very big in the formal red pill community. I agree with him maybe 49% of the time. He says a lot of great things. When you talk about health, you know, but like a lot of stuff, there are things I don't agree with him with. But he's very popular in that community. And he flew to London where she's at. He did her show. They're going to have, he's a black guy. They're going to have shows coming up in the future. They're going to have a dating show. I respect this brother. That's what I'm saying. You don't have to always agree with anybody. The video he put out, I may play it on this live, to where if he was thinking financially, he would have rocked with her. If he's thinking financially, yo, you've been on YouTube for all these years and you got 600,000 subscribers. She blew up in a year and got 1 million. She blowing you up. It would have been in his best financial interest, but he gave her a verbal lashing. And what I love about his verbal lashing was that it was, while it had emotions, the points weren't emotional. The points were fact driven. The points were spot on. He came on and represented for his black fucking community when it would have been done him, and he would have got away with it. He would have definitely got away with siding with her because of the world we live in. And her comment section, these white people don't give a fuck. I may play his video.
For everything that happened. Okay. So, but I'm going to answer questions that people have brought my way. So the first thing is, why did you have Nick on? So, the reasoning behind having Nick Fuentes on was because
Junk Sleep has Mia traveling down the...
This is why I don't like this program, because if I use StreamYards, I would have played it from up here where I pay money for YouTube to not have these commercials. But this one is asking you to just put a web link and it'll just play it so you're not signed in. In order for me to sign in, I have to sign in while I'm live right now. You see my fucking password. So is there other things I need to figure out? Because I know, the only thing I know is to mute this. It's hard to hit these buttons with the screen so small. But there got to be a way around it.
I heard that he was on the no-fly list and he lost his bank account. Now, from your point of view, you would think, why would you invite someone on that's on the no-fly list, right? That would be a bad... Well, he's...
I will go on to say this to defend her. I don't think there's nothing wrong with having a racist on your shit. I have a racist on this channel. He gonna get that ass lit the fuck up logically and breaking down his points. But I will have him on. I have a problem when you cater to this racist person, when you joke with this racist person about black American tropes, when you don't defend this racist person putting down your friend for dating a black guy, when you take this racist person and he's telling you that he doesn't believe what everything that happened in the Holocaust, and you join him with the black audience that built you from the ground up, and then you say, it isn't real too, because even the author of one of their TV shows that we knew was fucking fiction, fuck out of here. That's what I have a problem with. I don't have a problem with her having a racist on.
He's not anymore. That's how he flew, but he was. So I was more just curious why this man was banned on everything. Now, I've seen a lot of videos that say I play dumb or I'm playing dumb. And I'll tell you what I knew and what I didn't know. So I did know that he was a known racist. I did know he was a known sexist. I did know that basically every bad name in the book from the right and the left, everyone hated him. So the reason I had him on was because, guys, people say that stuff about me. They say I'm sexist. They say I'm a misogynist. And,
this is the disconnect with white America right here. This is the disconnect is what you put first. I think some white people are very clueless. To me, what you care about first shows more of your character. You know what I'm saying? Like, every human being is going to put first what they care about the most. So here's the information she told you she had. He's a fucking racist. What she cared about most is what she went through. What she went through is that people saying all of these fucking things about her so she can identify with someone else that's bad things are said about it. That was first over him being a racist. That's something that black Americans don't have the liberty to put first. When we hear someone is a racist, that's first. Nothing else matter. He's a racist. But he gives billions to children. Fuck that. He's a racist. But he opened up a new school and a new building for homeless people. Fuck that. First, he's a racist. That's the disconnect that I see in white America. She's looking for something else to identify with this guy when she already has the information that he's a racist. She's not an idiot. She's a big popular YouTuber. He's very big and going on these platforms. She already knows this. We don't have that liberty.
I really just like to give people the benefit of the doubt when I interview them. I don't go into interviews trying to interrogate someone. I just more try to listen and see where they're coming from. In hindsight, that wasn't smart. And in hindsight, I should have had someone, maybe Sarah Garvey, maybe another content creator that could have pushed back more and really was more educated on the topics that he was talking about than I was. Because I certainly was not an expert in any of the stuff that he was talking about.
That would have been great, like if you had a black person to debate him. But I would even go on and say you didn't even need that. This is what I'm saying. It's like she's using Nick Fuentes to hide what she did. Because let's just say you invite a racist on and you stay neutral. I'm sure Arsenio Hall had a lot of negative opinions about Charles Manson. He didn't say those. You got 3 ways you can do this. You can put down and show that you're not down with this racist and combat and go against him. You can do that if you like. You can be neutral. You can do that if you like. If you're just neutral, ask him questions. He put out why he don't like black people. All right, cool. You have a platform that's neutral. That's not the issue. That's not the issue. The issue is what you did when you had the racist there. So when you say shit like this, it's like you're using the racist to mask your own actions. People are mad about your actions. People are not mad that you had the racist on your channel.
I did remove the interview. I, again, did not think through a lot of the repercussions of posting that, so I just removed it. If you do want to see the full interview, Obsidian did react to it. That's on his channel. The intention was not, I guess, to hide it. It was just, this might not have been the best move. I'm just going to remove it now.
That's what I'm saying right there, like those keywords out here. This, I'm going to remove the video because this may not be the best move. As a black person that racism directly affects, when a black person hears you say, I'm going to take down a video because it may not be the best move, I hear you making a business decision. I don't hear you caring about my plight. I don't hear sorrow. I hear that you made an incorrect business decision because no one wants to come on to people unsubscribing to their channel and a trillion videos being made that show that, say that you're a racist. That's what that sounds like.
So again, racism has no place in society, and I do take accountability for bringing him on. Hindsight's always 20/20.
There's nothing wrong with you bringing him on. Stop fucking hiding.
I wrote down some of the complaints that people had. So if I look this way, it's just because I made bullet points of everyone's concerns and I'm just addressing them. Okay. My Africans, that part. So in the heat of the conversation, I made some remarks to my producer, Blessing. Now, Blessing is a godsend. Okay, Blessing has made
her producer is black, just to give you context. And so I think that I'll let her explain that. Like, she said something about him being African or whatever. She's making like snot remarks while talking to a racist with black people helping her fucking production. Fuck out of here, my nigga.
Production quality, literally phenomenal. He's so talented. And during this conversation, we were talking about immigration. And I said, I'm trying to get my Africans to America. Now, I watched it back, guys. It was so cringy. Oh my gosh, it was so embarrassing. I met my African employees. I just said Africans. The reason is because, like, why wouldn't you just say my employees or whatever to America? The African passport system is just more difficult than the UK one. I didn't know, like, Blessing had to go to the embassy or something to apply to go to America with me next month. We're going to go do some work
Facts
there.
Too smooth.
And, yeah, and so I've just found that the immigration process is a bit more difficult. So that's why I referred to them, because my African employees, I needed more help with. And, you know, I was saying in the interview that I wanted more open border policies because I wanted them to come. Again,
Johnson, why are you naked?
Did that dude just say Johnson, why you're naked? That's like a double entendre wrong. Johnson, why you're naked? What's going on? I got to do my homework on this program XSplit, or is there a way I can sign in to my account that this won't happen?
you know, I really respect the African culture. I had no ill will or malice towards any of that. But it sounded absolutely awful. It was so...
Here's the thing, Pearl. This guy you love, he's your ace boon coon. Even the black guy, mediocre reviews, whatever his name, because he went out to London to meet you. He went so further to explain your close relationship you have with this black man that helps you run your production. My question to you would be, with you guys talking all the time and you being like this whole African thing never came up. Why did the African thing come up only when you did the live with a racist guy? That would be my question to you. Why now? You put out fucking 10 videos a fucking week. Why now, during this one live, when you got your one racist guy on, did you refer to your black friend as African? That's what I'd be curious to want to know.
Cringy watching back. You know, so, it was stupid. It was stupid. Okay. Now let's talk about My Africans was the other one. And then, the joke about Blessing being late. So one thing that they cut out from that clip.
Blessing is her black friend that is her producer that helps her run it. And this is what I'm saying, CP time, colored people time. The joke that black people have amongst themselves about us being late. Mexicans have amongst themselves about them being late. Indians have amongst themselves about being late. Minorities do that shit all the time. You know what I'm saying? But like, there's a world of difference than me joking with clean black sneakers. Like, oh, your ass ain't, we supposed to be at 11, you show up at 12. You show up at CP time, colored people time. And we laugh about it. There's a difference between us joking about that than you never ever on your channel of all of your videos to make a whopping 1 million subscribers of black people. You never mentioned CP time or being late. You decided to do it when you have the races on the panel. So you and the races, you white woman with the races can joke about this shit. Why? It's sort of like you're trying to big up and make the racists feel like, yeah, I'm on your team. That's what it looks like. Why are you talking about him being late in colored people time when the races is on?
Was that Nick Fuentes did say after, oh, I'm just giving you a hard time. I'm just kidding. Okay. Now, even so, it was still in poor taste. And what I didn't think about at the time was, sorry, for those that didn't see it, basically Nick Fuentes was talking about he's always late. And I said, you were on time today. Oh, Blessing was the one that's late. And it's sort of an inside joke here at Just Pearly Things. Like, Blessing is just, he's phenomenal, but he's just he's a late guy. And every time he comes in, he says African time. Now, Pearl me. So when I was referring to him during this joke, I was like, African. Now, I was saying African time, referring to what he says when he...
Just stop and think about what she just said. There's a racist guy on her show who doesn't like black people. And her black friend is late. And while she's talking to the racist guy about her black friend being racist, she says, African. Just think about that, bruh. Fuck this lady. For real.
Now, what I realized is this was especially disrespectful because we did have someone that's a known white supremacist race. Like, you know, making that joke in front of him, with him, is just in poor taste.
Stop. Sometimes we go so fast. We don't let shit simmer. We don't let it cook. The one thing that made me hit that button to stop it was one word. When she said with. I'm a white woman who don't know how to do any kind of production videos on YouTube. I had no way of knowing I would get 1 million subscribers in a year. The person that helped me, that knew about production, is my black friend. I'm going to joke about my black friend, drumroll, with this racist white guy, this racist supremacist. I'm going to joke on my black friend with him. This is the stuff that goes by so fast, people brush shit away and then see how damaging. For people who never been to my channel who may see this, I don't have some barbaric looking ass person in my background snoring. That's my little Frenchie in his cage. Right here.
I did apologize to him for it. I really had no malice or ill will.
I believe you, but that's even more damaging. I'm not even being sarcastic. I literally believe you had no malice. You had no ill will. You know why I believe that? Because you're not black. You don't know how it feels to be black. Because if you did, if you had a shred of empathy, you would have never joked like that about your black friend to a white supremacist. I believe it wasn't a big deal to you because you never had to go through the plight that people have to go through with being black. I literally believe you. I believe it was not a big deal to you because you're fucking insensitive and you care about ratings so much. You knew that this racist white guy, this supremacist guy, is so popular right now. So polarizing popular. Polarizing is the new thing. It's the new pomegranate. You know something always come in season. 1 year motherfucking middle class like pomegranate. 1 year they like fucking pumpkin spice. The new it thing is to be polarizing. You got him on your channel. The last super big polarizing person you had on your channel, which you thought was going to really keep blowing you up. Well, what's his name? Andrew Tate. But Andrew Tate got arrested right after leaving your shit. He's been in prison, in jail ever since. He did your show and got arrested 1 to 2 days later. It was the last show he did. So you lost the biggest, most polarizing person on YouTube. And now you got another one. And your brain, I told you, what people think first shows you their character. Your brain is so focused on, I don't even think you like Nick Fuentes. I don't think you like that racist motherfucker. I don't think you care for him at all. I think you care for your building your channel. And you had him on your channel. And that blinded you from how your friend may feel over something you care little about. Biatch.
But, stupid. It was just stupid.
Desi, don't make me go off on you. Don't make me go off on you. You know what I'm saying? Don't make me start popping off on El Salvadorians in this motherfucker.
The next thing is I've got.
Let me move this up so Desi can see my skinny arm. Let me flex right quick y'all don't know my mod Desi is my co-host on my true crime podcast that we about to drop some new shit on. So y'all stay tuned for that. Shouting.
A lot of criticism for using the black culture and then I'm going right and leaving it, like that sort of thing. You can correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, but that seems to be a big point of contention.
Why would this be clueless to you? It wouldn't be clueless to me. It would not be clueless to me. This channel, without looking at YouTube analytics, I'm not an idiot. This channel is about 95 to 98% black. My true crime channel is about motherfucking 90% white. If I were to break the numbers down even further, the biggest audience in my true crime channel are middle-aged white women. You mean to tell me that you have 1 million subscribers, no one gave a fuck about you, no one liked you, no one gave a fuck when you tried to immerse yourself into Kevin Samuels' channel before he died? No one. You had no big following. And then you come over to the black male red pill community. You mean to tell me that you're clueless on who your audience is? People told me that, I've been in the black culture. I took from it yeah, you blew up from the black male red pill culture. And after you blew up, you got this fucking racist guy in your shit making jokes about your fucking black friend that's doing the production for you, not saying anything when a racist supremacist guy say something to your white friend that's dating a black man. This motherfucker literally said to you with your friend sitting there, I'm not the one who's dating the black guy. You're not that clueless, boo-boo. You're not that clueless. You know exactly what the fuck you're doing. Fuck out of here with that bullshit.
My intention was never to be, a quote unquote leader in the black manosphere or the manosphere in general.
Who gives a fuck? And then I'll contest you on that. Once I put out my first true crime video, posting that true crime video was me accepting the option that no one will watch it or 10 billion people will watch it. I put that out with the intent to get viewers and people to follow me. You switched. For people who don't know, let me give you a context about this motherfucker. She hated the red pill community. Then she flipped and started saying that everything they said was right because she started to get views and followers. Just that contention alone, I don't give a fuck. What I never thought I would. You didn't think you would, but you putting that out there, you accepted the option that could happen.
Just looked at the men as the leader. I mean, they're the thought leaders. Let's just be honest. And me, I try to support them in any way I can. I bring them on my show.
Goddamn right, my boy Rampage in the building. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Shit done changed about you, boy. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my boy Black Rampage, man. Appreciate that, man. Anybody can see through this fake ass shit.
But saying I'm a leader in the space, I feel like women.
How the fuck are you not a leader? You know what's great about being white? Great about being white. All these dudes you looked up to, all these black dudes, it's easier, it's more palatable hearing the information from you. That's why you got 1 million subscribers. You're bigger than everyone you looked up to. Literally, your channel is bigger. Whose channel is bigger than yours? You know why? Because you're fucking white. Not just white, you're a white woman.
Men follow, men lead. So I really think, yeah, that's just my opinion. Now, the other thing was the demographic of the women on my show. Guys, I haven't done recruiting in months. So when I started, I never expected it to blow up this fast.
Don't give a fuck.
I never in my life thought I'd have 1 million.
No one would think that. What the fuck does that have to do with the subject? No one. No one comes on YouTube and expects 1 million followers in a fucking year. What the fuck does that have to do with anything? Make it make sense to me.
I wrote my goals for the year before and it was 100,000. I thought I'd maybe get 100K by the end of the year. Okay, that's what I thought. Now, everything blew up so fast and I haven't done recruiting since maybe July. The only time I have is maybe to help out if we're low on a show. So or if there's a really big panel like the Andrew Tate panel, I handpicked everyone that was on that. But in general, guys, I really don't recruit. I think one reason that there have been so many black people on the show is because the recruiter that I picked was Nigerian. And he just had the
You're so flustered. I could go any way to fuck you up right now. Are you saying you were gonna have black people on, and it just so happened to be black people on because your recruiter was black? So because he was black, he's responsible for the black people on. So if you didn't have him, it'd be less black people on. Or are you saying that you're so fucking stupid that you don't recognize that you went into a black male red pill community and black people will flock to it? Pick your fucking poison. Pick your poison. Motherfuckers like this is lucky I am so busy in my real world and I'm so inconsistent, I never gain a following. Could you imagine me making this video right now if I had 1 million fucking subscribers and I'm surgically breaking her down like this right here? And I'm telling the fucking truth. She would never come back. You're lucky. You're lucky. I don't give a fuck about YouTube enough. There are people, the people who should see this video would see this video. You're lucky. Pick your fucking poison. Am I going to unpause this and you're just going to say, It wouldn't have been that many black people on if you sound like a motherfucking criminal in a Scooby-Doo cartoon. I would have got away with it if it wasn't for those pesky kids. Would have been as many Negroes on my channel if it wasn't for that Negro inviting the Negroes on. Shut the fuck. That's not.
Type of job that he could recruit while he went on the job. And he knew a lot of people. He was already in the podcast space. So he was just a good recruiter. So it makes sense that he knows more Nigerian women. Yeah. Okay.
I told y'all it's the little things. It's the little shit that I hear that fucks with me that other people just ride off. Like right now, she talked about the topic. Let's go to another topic. She about to go to another topic. But right at the end, she's like, well, that little part, that's white privilege. That's white privilege right there. You want to see how white privilege is? That last little thing she said is white privilege. Because that little 2 words she said to just move on is like, nigga, I tried. Fuck y'all. It is what it is, my nigga. I'm going to eat. I'm going to be all right. It is what it is.
But again, yeah.
Did you know that in Texas?
Did you know that you're not going to get me demonetized, you dumb fuck? Did you know that? This is fucking stupid. Yo, find me somebody who be using StreamYard so they can teach me about this program. I watch some YouTube videos tonight.
The next part. Now, this was the part that was probably the dumbest part of the whole interview. This was the stupidest, the dumbest.
Here's another thing white people do. White people compartmentalize. So to her, that was one situation. The one she talked about, that was one. And that was one. When real life shit affects you, what builds your character and you as a person isn't these individual things. It's these individual things put into a bowl as a whole. It isn't that you did that and that and that. It is that you did all of that as a conglomerate, as a whole, with a racist person on. It isn't compartmentalized to us. This builds you. You can't say, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm not like that, but like my uncle needed a heart transplant. If it wasn't for that, that's the only reason I robbed that bank that one time. And then the second time I did it, y'all, you gotta understand, like that's over there. But the second time I robbed the bank, y'all don't know. Like I tried 3 hard jobs, and so I just feel like if I give a little bit, I'll rob, but I'm gonna take that money and make more money, and then I'm gonna go back in the bank and hold them at gunpoint and put the portion I stole back. So that's another event. And then the other one, the third time, I didn't plan to rob any banks. The third time, I was minding my own business, but I smoked too much weed on a roof. And when I was on a roof smoking that weed, that's when I watched the film Set It Off. I didn't plan to watch Set It Off. So yeah, of course, if I'm high on a roof like they was, of course I'm gonna rob a bank. See these 3 different things? Like that, I have an excuse for all. No, nigga, when you tell me that shit, you a fucking bank robber. You a fucking bank robber. You involved in all. This is a whole. It's in a bowl. It's all together. This isn't cut up in segments. You laughed at the people who built your platform. You laughed at black people. You thought it was funny. You didn't think it was that serious. You didn't think it was that big of a fucking deal until it came to you the next day and you saw the pushback. You didn't care about the pushback from people you considered blue pill, as you categorize people. I don't even think you care that it's black people who got mad. I think, in my opinion, you spoke out when it was the black male red pill community that came at you Oh my God. Oh my God, I'm the white woman with red hair. I am the woman they accept in their community. They can't come and be too. I think if everybody came at you, except for the black male red pill people, you wouldn't give a fuck. That's what I think.
Oh, this was stupid. So I said that slavery was embellished in the interview. Now that not only is that comment insensitive, it's not accurate. There were things in slavery that were worse than what was shown on TV.
So why did you say it? This destroys you worse than anything, because you can't blame the white supremacists. He wasn't talking about this. You brought this up on your own. If you know that the things that happened to slaves and from slave owners, if you know that it was worse than the show Roots, why did you say it? What made you change in a day to now focus on letting the world know that it was worse, but the day before you wanted us to feel like it wasn't that bad? If you can't explain what happened in a day to make you change your mind so fast of the importance, because remember what I said, what someone says first shows you their character.
What I was referring to, I don't even want to tell you guys what I was trying to say, because it wasn't what came out and it doesn't even matter. Again, if you watch the full thing, I was more referring to the system of using atrocities to control people. That's what I was trying to say.
There we go. That's what made me want to go live, her statement right there. That's the thing, that if you want to get white people, black people together, that white people need to really understand right there what she just said. The first thing that matters to us, to minorities, the first thing we hear, it isn't going to be what she just said. The first thing that came to her mind was that, like, sometimes people be saying shit to over embellish. So that's what she cares about the most. She cares about that more than racism. When Philando Castile, the black guy who was murdered, who they call Mr. Rogers, when he was murdered by that police officer because he had a registered gun, super nice citizen, the kids love him, and he told the cop, hey, I just want to let you know I have a registered gun, and he reached to show it to him, and the cop shot him 1 billion times. The bullet holes went through him and could have easily killed the little black girl in the back seat. When that happened, 2 days prior to that, a black man was on the ground fighting with 2 police officers. And as he's reaching for the gun, a police officer shot him. This is the difference between black and white people. I looked at what happened to Philando Castile, the injustice. That's the first thing. A lot of white people shunned that story, and they went on to purport how black people were taken up for this fucking criminal who's fighting for a gun. Because the first thing to you is to point out that people over embellish things. The first thing to me is to point out actual criminal injustices that's happening to us. So with Pearl and her white privilege and her being white, it's easy for Pearl to sit up here and just only search for scenarios so she can fight for her plight she cares about, which is People are saying things to embellish stuff that's not true. We don't think on that term. We don't look at the embellishments because we look at what we see that happens to us. Do you understand where I'm coming from? Do you really get where I'm coming from? We can't afford to pay attention. A black person not finna sit there and go, let me do all the studies and shit. What I'm saying is not untrue stuff. Because we see the real shit in our life. We grew up in the hood. When all the police put you in the back of the car. Y'all didn't know that shit. Y'all didn't have no idea a police officer would put 2 black teenagers in the back of the car, drive them down the street, beat the shit out of them, and let them out. You know how you would know this? Because when you go search for paperwork and things to make your argument seem correct, there's absolutely no way you would have this data on file. How would you have this data on file? Police officer not going to write up on the slip, yeah, we beat the shit out of this fucking nigger down in the corner, dropped him off. You wouldn't have this data. So you look at this data. I see a lot of people make these same mistakes when it comes to data. I saw Destiny look at data and say how black men are in the hood raising their kids. And he used it by using the consensus that black women are in the projects raising children alone. Now, when you really in the hood grew up like I did, a consensus can't fucking help you. Because when these black women, like they're still dating their boyfriend, the father of their kids, who done got in some trouble, so he not supposed to be in the projects, they gonna tell him, and watch all the black people agree with me. This is a common knowledge to us who grew up in the hood. Baby, you can't come over, you can't come in here today. Why, what's going on? You know, inspection coming in today. You know, I gotta make sure I live by myself, so make sure you take your shoes and shit. That's foreign to you guys. That's foreign. That's weird. That's not foreign to us. That's normal. We know that. Niggas know what today. They say it in normal conversation. What you doing today, man? I'll probably go to the gym, play basketball, whatever. You know what I'm saying? You know they doing inspection shit today. Oh, yeah, they doing that shit at your projects? Damn, that mean they finna come to our next. This is normal talk. You wouldn't know this. You're looking at your data that this data wouldn't be on. This part right here is what made me want to go live. What she covets, what she cares about that comes first is that, man, people be out here saying some shit and embellishing shit that ain't even that bad. When it happens to you, you don't go out and look for shit that was untrue or embellished because you know the shit that is true. And when someone like Pearl goes out and make it her point to shun what actually is happening to your plight, to your life, by dismissing it, because she's going to go and show other examples of how it's not that bad, it makes you feel worthless. It makes you feel like there's no hope.
But to say that it wasn't, that it was embellished is, oh gosh, so stupid. So stupid, insensitive. And
I don't believe you because you have not shown how you changed in one day. You have not shown how you went out of your way to say, it's embellished, you know what I'm saying? The guy who wrote Roots even said that he wanted to put out a fable, a story out there so people can look up to. Like, when you say shit like that, like, am I just like a genius? I don't think I'm a fucking genius. I think I'm fucking normal. Because the interpretation I take from the guy who wrote Roots is that he wants to create a story about a slave. Of course it's fiction. He's a fiction writer. But in this story, he can list some of the real shit that happened to real life slaves. But it's still fiction. And we can see this shit. I don't even think Roots was really made for black people. Because we already know. I think Roots was made for you. I think Roots was made for white people. I think Roots was made so you can see the atrocities that actually occurred to human beings that your fucking ancestors owned as property.
And nor am I, sure, I've read a couple books, but I'm not informed or qualified enough to really have that conversation.
If you're not qualified, why did you talk like a qualified person on the subject to a racist guy, a supremacist, who wasn't even talking on the subject that you brought up on your own accord? Explain that.
So not bringing someone else onto the show, again, stupid. Now, the next thing is that my friend Gabby came on the show with him, and she's dating someone that is black. And he would say openly racist comments to her. Now, I should have pushed back on that. Like, I've been in interracial relationships. So for me to not push back on that, especially with all...
Just to give context to people who don't know, I'm just going to say what happened. Rightfully so, her white friend who's dating a black man looked at this racist supremacist on the show and said, I don't want to talk to you. I just don't like you. He said, why? Because you're a racist. She said something else. He said, well, at least I'm not dating a black guy. Just to give you guys a visual setup, white supremacist here, Pearl right here sitting next to him, her friend over there. Pearl is physically and literally in the middle. Right there. Her friend is over here. His voice goes through Pearl to her. At least I'm not dating a black guy. This is her excuse.
Of the people that have been on my show was stupid. It was stupid. I just, I was kind of like a deer in the headlights. I didn't know what to say. I was like, oh gosh. And
you're telling on yourself. You're telling on your character. If it really bothers you, if it's really offensive to what he said about your friend and the man she loves, see that? You see that? I'm not trying to blink. I'm going to try not to blink. I'm still going to blink. I can't help it. I can't fucking help it, Pearl. The natural instinct of me is when something comes close to my eye swinging fast, I'm going to blink. The natural instinct is someone who actually cares about this, cares about what this fucking racist guy you don't know is a total stranger to you said to someone you know, someone you called a dear friend. Natural instinct, if you cared, without thought, wouldn't have been to freeze up. Why would you freeze up? You have many guests on your show. Why would you freeze up? You don't know this motherfucker. I know why you froze up. I'm going to tell you why you froze up. I'm going to call you out. You fucking lucky I'm not big. You'd be murdered. You'd be destroyed figuratively on YouTube if I was big. Because anybody calling you out like I'm calling you out. You froze up because you were conflicted in what you were supposed to do as a good human being and your fucking ratings. I know what I'm supposed to do, but I got Nick Fuentes on my shit. And if I do something wrong, he may walk out. That's why you were conflicted. And that's what makes you a fucking asshole. You were conflicted with your fucking show. And what I can only hope is some resemblance of your fucking morals. That's why you were conflicted. That's hot.
And the video we were watching wasn't even supposed to be about that, so I really don't have an excuse. It was just stupid. And again, I take full accountability for this stuff. And, if I had to do it over again, I would do it differently, but
I believe you. I'm going to take up for you right now and still embarrass you. I believe if you had it to do over again, you would do it way differently. I just don't believe you do it differently because you were morally wrong in your actions. I think you do it differently because of the reaction you got. I'll go even more detail. I don't think you'll do it differently because of the reaction you got from black people. I think you'll do it differently because of the reaction you got from black, red pill community. I don't know how, because you're white and a woman and they're black and they're men, but your peers, your fucking peers, your peers have joined together to come against you. I'm going to tell you why you felt comfortable at the end of this. I'm going to wait.
I can only move forward. So, sorry, I want to make sure that I addressed everything. I think I did. Okay. Because I talked about recruiting. I talked about, okay. So,
Elated Pepper, I would assume you're some kind of troll. You think because Kanye West's skin is black and this is some kind of way you can call us out but I want to let you know, you may not know me or do your research. I have obliterated Kanye West the same way I'm obliterating this chick right here. The videos are on my channel. Feel free to scroll down to see any video about Kanye West. And I sent his soul to high heavens too.
moving forward, I really would be open to having a discussion with someone that can bring more awareness and education to the situation. So I'm open to you guys' suggestions in the comments. I also invite anybody that's made a video about me or has comments to address with me to go on Obsidian's stream tonight. It's 8 p.m. GMT. Blessing will also be there. And
that's it.
Yeah, you know, because I don't want to run from this stuff. Again, a lot of this stuff was not well thought out.
I believe that you don't want to run from it, but I believe that you don't want to run from it from ignorance. It's like you didn't expect to blow up to $1 million in a year. You don't really know what the fuck you're doing. You talk to people who have done research, and while you do research on specific numbers, you use these same numbers against these people who haven't. So you feel comfortable in that realm. You don't feel comfortable in this realm. This is a first for you. So of course, blinded, not knowing anything, you'll stay in the pocket like a box. So you stay in there and you want to do it. But I think it's coming from ignorance, and you feeling bad, not from what you said, you feel bad from. You don't feel bad from the people that you hurt. You feel bad from the backlash from it and how it could affect you as an individual.
A lot of this stuff I could have done better, and I do take full accountability for that. So, you know, go on the stream if you got something to say. I also would like to say I really don't have beef with anyone in the space that made videos about me. I understand where they were coming from. I understand where I went wrong. And I really think they had a lot of valid criticisms about me. So let me know what you guys think. I really did my best to address all of the comments in a concise way. I'm not trying to play the victim. Everything in this that has happened is my fault. And my fault. And I will do better in the future. So let me know in the comments what you guys think. Like the video on your way out, I guess, or don't, you know.
She's done. I'm going to show y'all the comments. It's just what black people have to go through. I know this shit don't even look like regular YouTube, bro. It looks different because, like, it's just showing. Let me see. Where are the fucking comments? This is old school YouTube. Like, okay, here we go. I can't read them. I'm going to have to hide my face in order to see this. I want y'all to see what white people do to black people. The majority of these comments is on the subject of the supremacist Nick Fuentes or whatever has put out that there's some kind of organization behind the scenes. Hold on before I go into it. That comes and gets you when you speaks out. So basically it's sort of a super conservative talking point that the left liberals will get you if you say something wrong. Now, the issue with this and all these white people in her comment section is if you really like Pearl and you think that you believe Pearl, so according to this video, Pearl is telling you distinct individual things that she felt that she did wrong, what you say first matters. It shows who you are as a person. So when you leave comments of saying, you had to put out an apology video because you proved Nick right. He said you're going to have to do it because they're going to come for you. When we as black people read shit like that, all we read is that you don't give a fuck. You don't give a fuck. You don't give a fuck. You don't give a fuck that a man came on there and put a woman down for nothing else except for saying that she's a lesser human being because her boyfriend's skin is black. You don't give a fuck. And this is what's being taught to us from the world that we live in. You don't give a fuck. So when I come and I read comments like this right here, look at the majority of the comments. This is what black people have to read. After you see what he said on the show, and then you see her laughing and her response to it. Pearl, all you're doing is proving it, right? We all know your handlers gave you the call and you bent the knee. Every time I observe someone getting the call, I only believe in Fuentes' estimation of how the world works even more. If that person left the comment name is A Priori, I guarantee you if I were to talk to A Priori, they would confess to the bottom of their soul they're not a racist person and they don't care and they get along with people of all colors. But you left one comment. If you had the opportunity to leave a comment, you're going to state what matters to you the most. So you may tell me you're not a racist. You may tell me you care about black people and the plight, you just want everybody to get along. But the one comment that you decided to make on this video was just to say you believe in a racist supremacist because of his estimation of how the world works more and more. Instead of the shit he said, instead of the shit that Pearl does. I'm breaking down to you all why black people feel the way we feel. This white woman came into a black community, got 1 million subscribers, built her shit up, and then this is the comments we get when we get put down. Blink twice if you're head against your will. Nick proven right again. This is what we have to put up with. Just put here. You can pause it whenever you want to. This is embarrassing. That just proved Nick right. White people, white people, white people, white people, white people. I'm about to go grab some fucking seasoning. So bland in this motherfucking comment section. The interview was amazing. Very disappointing to see you disavow Nick. They're mad at you. They're mad at you for trying to apologize to the community that built you up when disrespectful things were said by you and Nick. They're mad at you. They're mad at you. This is what we see. Terrence Jackson said that's because they don't give one shit. You're right. That's what we see. If you don't learn anything else from this stream tonight, learn you need to pay attention to what people say first. If a motherfucker leave a comment and saying shit like this, or you prove Nick right, and then they got to come back after you say something like, wait, I'm not racist. I care about black people. What was most important to that person? If you don't learn anything else, I want you to learn to pay attention to what people say to you first. No one comes out of their fucking mind and say the third most important thing first. You say the most important thing to you first. That's my live for the night. So do with it what you must. I sat, and more than likely the next live I'll be on my true crime channel. Yeah, I will be changing the title to Tagger in it, and I put up a thumbnail and all that stuff. But y'all know me. I'm the small, most inconsistent one. So I'm never added in the YouTube algorithm with no one else is doing but my own, because I value my actual real life over sitting over here and injecting myself to be reminded of just how disgusting the world really is when people don't fear a consequence. Talk to y'all next time.